of trying, because it didn't really do anything for me other than to give me a struggle. Yeah.
It's a journey, and you start noticing that you're actually noticing more and more of yourself, and actually more and more thoughts come, and despite that, you just follow instructions. So that's what he does. He just, I think, has a nice mix of breathing, thoughts, and awareness, puts those three things together in this meditation. You simply have to follow these instructions. I'm sure there are other kinds where you have to do the same thing, following instructions. Whatever you take, stick to it and do it regularly, at least for the next 6 weeks, before you give up on it. And this, we have shown with the EEG, this Isha Kriya meditation actually has changes in the way the brain functions. For example, normally you're at a high frequency, like beta frequency, we say about 12 to 25 hertz. We're all in that level. And when you start meditating, you start functioning at the alpha level, that is a lower frequency, that is about 8 to 13 hertz. And more alpha power starts coming into you, and seems like that reflects the calmness that you have within you, the slowness with which you breathe, the more time you have to intercept, and you don't think life, you actually live life, right? So we have data to show that Isha Kriya actually does that. And again, this was an IRB approved study. We did it. We are now in the process of writing it. Then we said, okay, one is this, and what else can we do? One of the things that we found is, if you tell people, okay, you take this and do it, a lot of people have questions. So things like, what is that I can do and what is that I cannot do, the do's and don'ts. When you look at yoga, it has got about 8 limbs. The first two are the do's and don'ts, which is about telling them things like responsibility and whatnot. So that is another module which is currently available by this school that I know of, is the Inner Engineering Online. I'm sure others have too. And Inner Engineering Online is a complete overhaul of your mind, body, energy, and emotions. So we said, okay, we'll take these 7 online modules, we'll give it to, do it in the most robust way in a randomized controlled trial. That is the robust way of doing any study. And then we have an active control, which means that we'll ask people to read for 15, 20 minutes a day, the same time it takes for people to do those 7 online modules. What we found was, in about 71 eligible participants, if they comply with this tools that we gave, the 7 online modules, their stress levels went down from 18 to 11. That is incredible. And when the control group crosses over after 4 weeks to the intervention group, they also showed the same thing. So that tells you that doing these 7 online modules, getting to know certain, knowledge base, and then understanding that you are responsible for yourself, basically removes a lot of stress. And then now you give them a meditation mode, I think they will have more chance of sticking to it, doing to it, and so they can sustain the gains that they've made using this Inner Engineering Online. And so that is basically, when you have this online, I talked about the meditation last week that I learned in Detroit, and people have studied that. That is Christine Peterson and Deepak Chopra and Raj Mathuri's group from UCSD, they studied that. And if you do 3 to 4 times a week, it should be done on a day basis. When I say 3 to 4 times, not all 4 times in one day. It should be done once a day, at least 3 to 4 days a week. Then your general well-being and stress levels went down. So that was very clear. And, stress levels went down and general well-being went up. We wanted to do, what is behind this, right? So Dr. Senthil Sadasivan from Indianapolis University, we collaborated with him, and he led this study where we looked at a 4-day retreat, and we found that people who do these went to this retreat actually have increased brain-derived neurotrophic factor. And what that means is basically, you have a good a neurotrophic factor hormone, you can call it, in the brain, which will be basically helping your brain to, sustain some of these stress levels. For example, people with depression and other mental disorders, they have low BDNF. And people with cognitive issues, they have low BDNF. And I say cognitive issues like mild cognitive impairment, etc. They have these low levels. And so this 4-day retreat actually showed that they had increased levels of this BDNF. And anandamide. Anandamide is an endocannabinoid, which was seen higher with this 4-day retreat. So, as you might know, the brain has cannabis receptors, and the endocannabinoids that are secreted binds with this and then produce that, the calmness within you and, the exuberance, the excitement and euphoria, etc. So we were able to show that with this kind of 4-day retreat that is called BSP with Isha Foundation. Then the same Dr. Sadasivan actually took it to the next level. We did a 7-day retreat, and all this is being analyzed, unpublished data. We were able to show low levels of stress, anxiety, which sustain for at least 3 months after they go for this retreat. I'm pretty sure these people are also practicing this, but sustaining the gains is much easier. Their executive motor function by functional MRI, this is the pilot data, again showed increases in the executive motor functions compared to the controls. And the study needs to be published and go through review process, but we can tell you that it is definitely showing these changes. So it is, and people who come with baseline anxiety and depression, they will have very low levels after they go for this retreats, and these low levels will sustain for the next 3 months. So we were able to show these changes.
This is really incredible, and I would like to help our listeners understand, because I'm one of the case studies, right? I went through the pandemic through all of this, and I'm a meditator, and it's unbelievable to me that without drugs, without exercise, without a change of diet, you can have these practices that can reduce the stress and bring out some equanimity in the life, no matter what's going on outside of you. And that's what the most incredible thing is about this. And you're establishing the scientific foundation for that this is real, and we can create these results for ourselves. We don't have to wait for the miracle drug.
Yeah, I know, 100%, right? The first 5 years, 2010 to 2015, I was just going through all this within me. I was shy about talking about these things to others, but in the last 4 years or so, I think it is imperative for us, especially for me in this field, having had research, etc., I should look for tools and techniques that not only will help patients, providers like surgeons, anesthesiologists, nurses, internal medicine practitioners, and also the general public. So with that in mind, we decided that we will start a center in our hospital, in our department, with the help of our chairman, who has actually agreed, and it will be called Center for Consciousness, Cognition, and Compassion. And our aim is to look into everything, not just yoga and meditation, but also other things that we can do to change someone's life. It could be as simple as a very effective pain control without opioids. It could be providing better sleep. It could be actually improving their cognition levels before they have surgery. It could be using meditation as a way to enhance their cognition. It could be using meditation to reduce their pain perceptions. Whatever it takes to do that in a robust way. And
this is incredible.
We'll be fortunate to have some group of people working with us to continue this line of work. I'm sure there should be enough people to do this kind of work. It's not just us. We'll be just one small piece of the puzzle. And I'm hoping to do this for the next 10, 15 years.
Yeah, this is a foundational piece that is going to reverberate worldwide. And from a place like Harvard, and with your what you're bringing, your expertise and your practices and the real life experiences, it's an incredible thing that we will have access to, and that will literally change lives. And so, Bala,
I look forward. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we all do. I can't wait to hear more about what you discover in your research, and when this center is fully operational, what comes out of it, the research. So everybody, thank you so much, Bala. I'm so grateful that we got to have you here talking about this. This was so captivating and so interesting, and I can't wait to see what comes next in your work and research.
Yeah, thank you so much, Christine, for giving me this opportunity and platform to share, and it's my privilege. Thank you.
Yes, well, and I urge everyone, please look into some form of meditation. And, we both happen to come from the Isha practices, but that's not all that's out there. And, it's what we happen to love and find is so worthwhile. And the studies are showing that it is so worthwhile. So thank you again, Bala. We've had a wonderful time hearing all of the background and research that's going on today.